If you smoke, you've felt it. That little poke, that urge that just pops into your head, what, a dozen times a day? It doesn't really feel like a choice, does it? It's more like a command, a need. But why? Why does your brain all of a sudden decide you need a cigarette with your coffee, or when you're feeling stressed out? Okay, let's really get into this, because the answer is this fascinating trick the mind plays on itself. I mean, just think about the rhythm of a normal day. That first cup of coffee, boom. The second you push your plate away after dinner, there it is again, taking that 5-minute break from work. And then you've got the emotional stuff. Stress, that's the obvious one, sure. But it's also when you're happy or even angry. It's like every one of these moments feels kind of incomplete without a cigarette. And if you can't have one, man, that anxiety that kicks in is very, very real. And this is where it all gets a little weird. This is the real puzzle. Before you ever started smoking, you handled all of these exact same moments perfectly fine. You drank coffee, you finished meals, you dealt with stress and celebrated good news, all without this so-called need. So what on earth actually changed? Now let's just be crystal clear about something. The answer has nothing, and I mean nothing to do with personal strength or weakness. This is not about willpower. The real reason is a powerful scientific process, one that happened pretty much without your permission. It's called conditioning. To really understand what's going on inside a smoker's brain, we have to take what seems like a totally random detour. We've got to talk about a famous experiment involving a guy named Dr. Ivan Pavlov and his dogs. I know it sounds unrelated, but trust me, this old story, it holds the master key to this entire puzzle. The experiment itself was actually beautiful in its simplicity. So step 1, Pavlov shows a dog some food, the dog drools. That's just biology, right? Nothing special there. Step 2, he starts ringing a bell right before he brings out the food. Every single time. Bell, then food. Bell, then food. And then step 3, after doing this over and over, Pavlov finds out he can just ring the bell with no food anywhere in sight, and the dog starts salivating. And that brilliant experiment gave us a name for this whole process: classical conditioning. It's when our brain creates a link between a totally unrelated trigger, like a bell, and an expected outcome, like getting food. And this process creates a brand new, automatic response that just wasn't there before. So what does a drooling dog have to do with smoking? Everything. The exact same learning process that conditioned Pavlov's dogs is what's happening step by step to every single smoker. Your brain has been trained in the exact same way. And this lays it out perfectly. Check it out. On the left, you've got the dogs. The trigger is the bell. The expectation is food. The response is salivation. Now look at the right side, the smoker. The triggers, they're your coffee, your stress, your meals. The expectation isn't food, it's nicotine. And the response isn't salivation, it's that powerful gotta-have-it craving. Your morning coffee has literally become your bell. And here's the chemical superglue that makes this whole trick stick. Every single time you smoke, when that bell rings, nicotine makes your brain release a little surge of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical, the one that tells your brain, hey, that was awesome, remember this and do it again. So your brain learns to connect the cigarette with that good feeling, which cements this false belief that smoking isn't just a reward, but that it's absolutely essential. And this isn't just in your head, your brain physically changes. To deal with this constant flood of nicotine, it actually grows more nicotine receptors. This does two pretty nasty things. First, it makes your cravings way more intense when you're not smoking, and second, you start to get less satisfaction from the same amount, which is what pushes you to smoke more and more just to feel normal. So the bottom line is this. This whole thing creates a powerful conditioning trap. It's a loop that just keeps feeding itself, and it all happens pretty much unconsciously. It's like a piece of software running in the background, getting stronger with every cigarette. You know, the source material for this explainer says it perfectly. We've been conditioned, tricked, really, into nicotine addiction. That word, tricked, is so important. It completely reframes this whole struggle. It's not a moral failing, it's the result of a master illusion. The trap isn't just the physical craving. The most insidious part is the belief it builds. After thousands and thousands of repetitions, we become absolutely convinced that smoking is a vital tool, that it genuinely helps us deal with stress, enjoy the good times, and just get through the day. We believe it works. But here is the genuinely good news in all of this. Just understanding how the trick works is the most powerful first step you can take to dismantle it. Once you can see the illusion for what it really is, a learned response, not a genuine need, you can actually start to break its power over you.
So if you take just one thing away today, let it be this. The biggest thing that stops people from quitting isn't a lack of willpower. It's not some flaw in their character. It is this deeply ingrained, conditioned belief that they need to smoke. And a belief that was built through conditioning can be unbuilt by understanding it.
And that leaves us with one final thought. We've just seen how that intense, desperate need for a cigarette is basically a conditioned illusion. So the real question to ask yourself is, if that's an illusion, what other parts of addiction are just an illusion too?